Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, of course, TV shows, what have you. Which, by the way, that Disney does get a reference in the movie, by the way, folks, so I guess good enough. And yes, the whole thing with Marvel and whatnot. So there you go, I reckon. Alrighty then, so the film I feel to be talking about is, of course, Wolverine. Okay, Deadpool and Wolverine to be more exact, I guess you can say. So why not? I guess I just got to seeing this, so I just figured might as well just get to it. I did review a lot of the vast majority of these type movies anyway, so here I go. I reckon. Anyway, of course, as usual, let's get into the plot, shall we? So, all right, yep, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So here we go. Deadpool himself, in other words, what's going on here is he's pretty much having a midlife crisis. He wants to find out who he is really. Yes, of course, not forgetting what happened in the previous two events. But what's going on here is that he kind of retires the whole Deadpool identity, but then he has to go back into it. He's pretty much forced into it. And I'm pretty much. All right, then. I'm pretty sure, yes, a lot of you had seen Logan. That one Wolverine movie. I'm not going to give away the ending of that film because, well, even though it's a few years old by this point, but bottom line, what's going on here? The ending of that movie is pretty much the start up for this film. I know that already sounds confusing right then and there, but I'll get to it in just a minute. But yes, the ending of that film is very vital to what's going on in this film because of something. What happened in that film caused like a strong chain of events that need to be dealt with. It's catastrophe. It would cause a chain reaction in this storyline. And yes, that means the other X-Men movies and Wolverine films do count in this continuity as well. Again, I know this is just getting more confusing. I know. Okay. As if it wasn't always already obvious, you can guess that yourself. Yes, I'm also including the other MCU movies. Yes, all of them. But okay, this just is already going to scratch your head right here, folks. As if it wasn't already obvious enough. Yes, they're diving into the whole thing with the multiverse. Yes, that's the thing in this movie, the multiverse. Like I said, the ending of Logan caused a chain reaction to one specific universe, and yeah, it needs to be fixed. And the person that needs to help to get us some assistance to fix some stuff is, of course, Deadpool himself. And hence the title Deadpool and Wolverine. He needs a Wolverine. And yes, you can guess, pretty much he looked through each multiverse and whatnot to look for a specific Wolverine and whatnot. What do I mean exactly? Clearly, this means that this group of individuals called Deadpool up. So yes, this is a key way to introduce the whole thing with Loki. What happened in Loki comes into play in some ways, of course. Just like how Loki was trying to go into different dimensions, find different versions of himself and whatnot. Yeah, more or less the same thing here, of course. And he eventually, when I say he, I mean Deadpool, eventually come across the Wolverine, and the Wolverine meets up with. He's a drunk. Yeah, he's an alcoholic in this movie, folks. And he's not exactly the most welcoming person here. This Wolverine is mean as expected. He's rude as expected. But nobody in his dimension really liked him, really. Even though the character in the other universes was actually well received, except for this one. As in the movie said, people keep calling him the worst one. Because a lot of the thing is that the organization I just mentioned a moment ago, they out of all the Wolverines, he could have gone. Deadpool could have gone. Could not be that one. In other words, since Deadpool keeps making mistakes, and yes, the fact that Deadpool keeps making mistakes does come into play here, by the way. So it just weighs on him. He again makes another mistake. Out of all the Wolverines he had to select from, it's the worst one. So in other words, he feels like a major fuck up because he keeps continuously dropping the ball over and over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean he's already feeling down his luck as it is, and it just adds to it. I just figured I just might as well go see this in theaters because, well, for one, I've seen plenty of other comic book themed movies anyway. Even though, despite the fact that this isn't really my forte, not really. But okay, sure, might as well just go to this one because I've seen plenty of the other installments of this franchise anyway. So why not? What's another one? Of course. And let's just have some fun while we're at it. I mean, yes, like I said in one of my previous videos, I could have just waited and just wait for the physical copy or whenever it's available in the streaming services, sure. But going to the movie theaters isn't its own experience when you see on this big theater and whatnot, and just to enjoy a film, especially when it's actually pretty good. And that's the thing. I thought this was a pretty solid action-packed movie. That's for sure. I liked what they were trying to aim for in the grand schemes of the story, trying to make this entire thing be this big cinematic kind of a thing. Sure. So yes, as it was an obvious enough, it's like this partnership type of a movie. And yes, I got some popcorn. And the thing that annoyed me because that yeah, the machine I was using first was not working because it was not dispensing the butter. I had an icy as well, by the way. But yeah, then I had to go to some other thing, and that was definitely putting the butter in. Like, finally? Like, okay. Anyway, as it was obvious enough, they made some references to the other Deadpool, of course. And yes, spoke about briefly what happened with the adventures, of course, obviously. And yes, but the main thing is the whole Logan thing I was mentioning earlier, folks. So yes, they used that ending of the Logan movie as a selling point for the story. And I'm just putting it out there, folks. All right, just so you know, you have not seen Logan, then I'll just leave it at that. But if you are one of those people who are actually seen the film, then you will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you will know exactly what I'm referring to if you've seen the movie. And yeah, that comes into play here. Just throwing it out there. Right in the beginning of the movie, this is right. The ending of that movie is used as the beginning for this film, like I was saying earlier, folks. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll just definitely leave it at that. Anyway, it's action packed. I really have no issue with the pacing. Really, the pace is pretty good. You get to the point fairly quickly, of course. And yes, obviously hijinks and whatnot, but you get the jokes, of course. I know some drama thrown in there as if that wasn't obvious enough. But Deadpool pretty much wants to show that he doesn't want to be just a one trick pony. He wants to be more of a person and not just be this one thing and that one thing only, of course. And I guess he has to come into his terms in some way or another. I guess that's what the movie's trying to aim for, of course. But anyway, let me just cut. Ultimately, yes, it's an action. It's first and foremost, it's an action-packed movie, and that's definitely this film is trying to give you that experience. There's lots of action, lots of stuff exploding, fighting, a bunch of set pieces. So yeah, it's pretty much what you expect from an action movie. It's just trying to do its own charm to it, of course, and that's ultimately what this is. It's an action-packed comic book type movie with huge action set pieces. Yeah, the type of stuff that you got accustomed to when it comes to these types of movies, of course. And yeah, yes, of course, as you can already guess yourself, the Wolverine isn't exactly somebody you could, in the lack of a better word, I guess, get along with. Not really, because he's kind of an asshole, I suppose. And in this movie, it's no different. And before anyone says anything, I didn't mind the suit, okay? I know a lot of people didn't. I know a lot of people thought the suit might be look goofy and silly, and that's why I didn't have it in the other X Men movies. But personally speaking, folks, I thought it was fine. It didn't bother me too much. Anyway, bottom line is it's worth a ride. It's not too shabby. I'll give this film a Nova rating of a 7.3 out of 10. It's a 7.3 out of 10. As always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.